do, everybody? Tim Norris here, aka Grey Elephant.
And Carmen Norris, Femme Elephant.
And what are we playing today?
Le Havre, Inland Port.
Le Havre. Okay, so we're going to give you a live play demonstration on how this game actually works. Carmen has the first player board denoted by the A, B, C, D, E, F. And I've got the second player board denoted by the G through L. So she will go first. We have these little cubes here that we use to keep track of our actions. They are not included in the game, but they sure help us make sure we don't mess up and take too many actions per round.
If you can see the little sunshine there on the A, I'm pointing the sunshine, it means I go first.
That's exactly right.
I will turn in my action cube and decide what I want.
So basically what you're doing is either you're purchasing buildings or you're using buildings, and that's basically the game. But the trick is that you can also use your opponent's buildings by paying them 1 franc.
I'm going to spend all my money and grab this.
Alright, so you just went right out there, didn't you? I think I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 wood, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the grocery store here. And whenever you buy a building, they immediately go into your 0 category on your board here. And that will mean that later on you're going to be able to use these, but not as soon as you buy them in the first time. So Carmen's got 1 more action this round. And then we go straight into the B buildings. And she gets the wood company. So, now what we do is we both rotate the dial on our player board. And now we introduce the B buildings. And each round of the game will go very quick, especially early on because there's not a whole lot of actions we take, but come towards the end of the game, we do take up to 9 actions total, so it'll speed up a little bit faster then. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 on my brick, and I'm going to go ahead and get the smokehouse and put that in my 0 column on my player board. Now each of us can use the buildings we bought in the last round because they are in our 2 category now. And as this spins around, it can go all the way up to 4. And we'll demonstrate on how that works as the game progresses, of what it means being in them categories.
I'm getting kind of low on stuff already.
Well, we always do.
I'll go ahead and use my clay mound.
Okay.
And the arrow means that I move it twice because it was in a 2.
So she used this one here, the arrow there at the bottom, that denotes that she gets to move her red clay twice. And then if you notice there's a block and it's got the clear space in front of it, that means you automatically just move it forward 1 space. So whatever category it's in, it was in the 2, so therefore she gets to move it 2. If it was in the 4 category, she'd be able to move it 4. So that was your action. I'll go ahead and take my action by buying the farmland here. And I'll put that in the 0 column. So, both of us rotate our dials again. And we're going to introduce the C buildings now. And Carmen, it'll begin with you. And she has no money, so she's going to start getting to where she's going to have to try to find some way of getting some money together. So, and it looks like she's buying the farm. The farm's a very good one. I hate missing out on that one. And then I think that I will probably I'm going to wait on my grocery store. I kind of wanted to use it. The kiln goes up that way, doesn't it? But I don't have any wood. I need wood. So I'm thinking I may end up using that, but I don't want to give you money.
Yay,
okay, so
I get money.
That means I spend 1 wood and 2 food, and I get to move my wood straight up. Is that what it is?
1 gold and 2 food, yeah.
Well, it's 1 franc. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I think, and just spend 2 on my brick, and I'm going to grab this bakehouse here. So I'll put that in my 0 category. So it's your turn again.
I wanted that.
Yeah, but you didn't get it, did you?
I can't afford anything because my wood is on 0.
Well, then you'll have to use your wood, won't you? So she will get to move her wood counter up 3 spaces because of that. That is the end of that round, so we both rotate our dial again. We are now up to 5 actions, so let's go ahead and introduce the D buildings. And I will have 3 actions to start this one, and Carmen will have 2. I'm sure she's got her eye on that marketplace, so let's see if I can afford that. No, I cannot. I'm 1 short, but so is she. So I would really like to be able to use that before her, so I'm going to go ahead and use my grocery store. And what that means is that I'm going to gain 4 money, because it was in the 4 column, and I get to move my fish and my grain up 1 each. So now it would be your turn. And she is going to grab, which one did you get there?
The restaurant.
The restaurant, which is a good one because she's going to be able to get money now for food. So let's turn in your little action marker. Now I'm going to go ahead and buy the marketplace, I think. Yeah. No, first, I think I'm going to go ahead and use my farmland here, and that'll be for 3. So I get to move my grain up 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and I get to move both of these up 1 space. So go ahead, your turn again.
No, I think I'm to the point where, well, I could afford something. Let's see if it's worth it, though.
Well, yeah, you could get, I think you can get any of those 3 buildings up there.
Yeah, I'm kind of...
I think the wood trader's pretty good.
Let me see what's coming up next.
That's called cheating, but we'll allow her to do this.
Really?
Nah, because they're listed up here,
cheating.
actually. No, I'm just messing. Because there actually is a little guide here that'll tell you what buildings are all coming up later, so... But I always like to mess with her if I can. It's called a Jedi mind trick.
Okay, so, knowing what's coming up next, I think I will use my wood company to see if I can get that fish market.
Fishy market. So wood company it is. She can use that twice because it's in her 2 category here. And so she kind of projected ahead to what she wants to get later. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get that marketplace. So that'll cost me 6 total food. And if you notice, it's got like the blue and the yellow at the top with the 6. That means I can use either grain or fish to pay for this building. So I'm going to make a combination of both of them. We go 1, 2, 3 and move both of them back 3 spaces. And go ahead and gather that up and put it in my 0 column there, which would be my last action. So we will go ahead and slide our E buildings straight up here. We'll both rotate our dials. And we are at 5 actions still, I believe. And Carmen will go first. It's so easy for you to keep track of who's supposed to go first because at the tops here, there's like little sunshine marks, or there's just nothing. Whoever has their dial on the sunshine mark, that's how you know if that's the first player. So, well, you ended up using your clay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Carmen is going to go for that sawmill, I'm pretty confident, which kind of stinks. I wish I could grab that. I think what I'm going to do is... She doesn't really have anything I want to use. I don't know.
I need to get something that gives me money. Well, I guess I could be selling food for money.
I think I'm going to go ahead and just use my grocery store again, which does give me 2 money. And it'll also allow me to move both of these up 1 space. So, and it makes it your turn again.
Since Frank's is how you win, I'm kind of, you know, getting a little nervous.
Well, yeah, but these buildings are going to... The
grocery store are worth Frank's.
That grocery store ain't going to win me the game. I need to get something else moving here.
I'm going to use my farm before you grab it, I think.
I was thinking about doing that, yes.
1, 2, 3.
And then it goes backwards 1.
And then it goes backwards
Yep.
1. Okay.
Alright, so go ahead and turn in your little action marker. And I need to... I think I'm going to go ahead and just spend 1 wood and 1 clay. And I'm going to go ahead and just grab that kiln, because I need to start getting some wood and clay moving here. So, and there's the sawmill. Good job. That's a good one. It's a real good one. Okay, so we are both done with this round, so we'll go ahead and rotate again our little markers. And we'll introduce the F buildings. Alright, and we are still on 5 actions, so I'll be 3, Carmen 2. Well, right off the bat, I know I need to go ahead and use this smokehouse. I'm thinking, she doesn't have money, so I'm not afraid that she's going to use it from me, so I don't have to use it right this minute, but the problem is this smokehouse tile is going to make my fish go up this direction. Plus, the good thing is it's in the category of 4 plus 1 franc. So, by using this, I actually gain 1 franc, and I get to move my fish 1, 2, 3. I can't go 4, unfortunately, but at least I can go 3 spaces up, and I probably should use grocery store first, then that, but it's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna buy that church square.
I wanted that.
So that's 3, 6, 7, 8.
All right, very good. I think that's why I was increased my fishes. I was wanting that church square, you know. Now you just kind of threw it all out of whack. All right, so I think what I will do then is your sawmill. Which way does that? Yeah, that ain't gonna help me in the slightest. That's gonna go back that way.
I've got the wood company.
Yeah, you do have the wood company, but I think I'll maybe use my farmland here. So farmland will allow me to move my grain up 3 and both my clay and my wood up 1 space. So go ahead, it's your turn again.
Okay, well, I have my eye on something I would like to buy.
You have your eyeball on something?
Okay, so I'll use my clay mound again.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And now Tim knows what I have my eye on, so he's probably going to buy it.
I'm pretty confident I do, but I can't buy it from you, though, unfortunately. So I don't have enough resources myself. You're wanting this building firm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still got one more action left.
Sorry.
So...
You're not allowed.
Yeah, I guess not. I'm going to go ahead, I think, and use my... Let's go ahead and just use the grocery store again, so that'll give me 2 money. And then I'll be able to increase both of these by 1. And that'll be the end of this round. So, we'll go ahead and rotate our player boards again. We'll introduce the G buildings. And we're at 7 now, so Carmen, you will get 4 actions, and I will get 3. So now we're going to look at my board, and it'll tell us how many actions. Once we made a complete round, my board will tell us the number of actions based upon the number right underneath the letter there. So.
Tim set himself up to use his bakehouse, I see.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And you don't have any money, so you can't take it from me, thank goodness.
Ooh, look at that.
What?
Mason's Guild.
Yes, the Mason's Guild and the Weekly Market are a couple of my...
Nice.
Yeah, I like both of them an awful lot. So, Carmen, what are you going to do here? This is where it starts getting a little bit harder to make decisions because you get so much stuff on your board, trying to keep track of everything and what you're going to use, plus your opponent's board as well. What's been a bit beneficial to me is that she's not had money. So I've not been nervous about, you know, her trying to use my buildings. So that's been really nice. So what I'm going to do, because I don't want her to get money, is I'm actually, you know, maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm not going to, not yet. I'd like to use her restaurant because I've got a lot of food. But if I give her that coin, then she'll take my bakehouse. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use my bakehouse first. So that'll move that into the 0 category now. But I get to move my grain up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. So I just gained a ton of grain. You take the numbers up here and just add it to the numbers that are down here. So right now that gives me 15 grain that I'm able to use. So, so that will make it at your turn again.
Yeah, and I think you're still going to be able to use my restaurant because, I mean, if I use it right now, that'll totally decimate all of my food.
Yeah.
But I guess it doesn't matter, does it? I mean, I can just move it back up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, but you're gaining 8 money for that.
8 money
I mean,
for that.
It's totally worth it for you. I just didn't want you to take my grain, though. So, yeah, I was going to use it this turn, so it's a good thing you did, yes. Because I absolutely would have taken it. Alright, so, seems how she did that. I'm going to go ahead, because now she's got money, and I'm afraid that she'll try to use my marketplace. The marketplace is really groovy, because I get to move as... Because it's in the 4 column, so I can move any one of these forward 4 spaces, or even break it up between the 4. So what I'm going to do is move my clay up 2, and go ahead and move my wood up 2 as well. And then that'll make it your turn again.
I was just making sure he wasn't cheating.
I always try to cheat. If I can cheat and get away with it, I'm going to so do that.
I'm thinking I should use my wood company before you steal it.
I probably had my eyeball on that.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. But I think I'm also going to use your sawmill. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a franc. And I want to take your sawmill action, which means I get to go 1, 2, 3 and move up this direction. So it will be your turn again, and that was my last action for this round. See, that's the devastating part of this game, is that using your opponent's buildings, you know, you're trying to plan to get them into the 4 column, and then boom, your opponent uses it, and it totally can disrupt your strategy. That's what I think's neat about this game, is I don't see a surefire way of winning this game because things are constantly changing. So I went ahead and introduced the H buildings, so let's go ahead and move our dials. Then we are at 7 actions still, so I am 4 and she is 3. So she's starting to get up. Let me see. She still can't get this one. And 6, 7, 8. You can't afford that one still. So I'm okay on those, but I'm sure she's going to fix that soon. The business office is really good too. So I think I'm going to go ahead and spend 6. So 6 wood and 3 on my brick. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this Mason's Guild. So, and that will make it your turn.
I'm going to use my clay mound.
Okay. Yeah, she's trying to get up to where she can get this business guild is what I'm thinking, or business office. It's really good. And I can't really stop her, so I'm just going to have to allow that to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 10 food so I can get this weekly market. So I'm going to go ahead and go 4, 7, 10. And that'll be enough to be able to afford that. So, and then you forgot to turn in your action token. So go ahead, it's your turn again. We'll slide these on it.
Okay, so I need more wood.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my sawmill.
Very good. Okay, so does that mean you get to move both of them up? So if I pay you 1 franc, I get to move both of them, right?
Both of them up 3, yes.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and give you 1 franc, and I'll move up my grain, 1, 2, 3, and my fish, 1, 2, 3.
I can't seem to ever move my fish up.
And I'll turn it. I think you forgot to turn in yours, so this should be the last action.
I always forget to turn it in.
You do, and it throws me off too,
Sorry.
so it's okay. So it's your turn again. This will be your last action, I believe, for this turn, unless we mess this up somehow. But I don't think we did. I don't know. Maybe we did. That's why these things are so important to keep track of turning them in, especially in the late rounds, because otherwise you're going to forget. Now, see, I should have taken the last action this turn, so that should be yours. I'm thinking we did that right, unless we skipped one somehow. So, because I don't know if I got 4 actions or not this turn. I can't remember.
Yeah. I've not been turning mine in, so it's been correct.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, I'll turn that in. This should be the last action this turn. I think I will use... You don't have really anything of that much value. I can't buy anything for food, so I need to use one of my buildings. I think I'll go ahead and use the grocery store again, which does give me 3 francs. And it'll increase my fish and my grain up 1 space. So, and that'll be the end of this round. So let's go ahead and adjust our dial. And we'll introduce the I buildings. Adjust your dial. And now we are still at 7 actions. So there's your 4 and there's my 3. And it is your turn. Once we get through the last set of buildings here, that'll be the end of the game. So basically just 4 more rounds. And that is it. So this game will get pretty interesting here real soon.
Well, let's see.
And it's a fast game. Usually we play in about 20-30 minutes. It's not that hard to set up other than just getting these buildings organized. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it goes real quick. So, all right, so turn in your action marker so we don't forget again. Okay, I want that pier, so I'm going to go ahead and spin the 10, and I'm going to grab that pier because that thing is really good. And so it is your turn again.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide between the shipping line and the guild hall.
Mm-hmm.
Shipping line's awesome because one action you get 3 francs each time you use it.
Yeah, you do. And it's more victory points at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
The victory points are denoted by the little circle that is located right here. So if you can tell that is worth 18 victory points at the end of the game, or if you want just 18 money, it's kind of the same thing. The guild hall's only worth 16. So I'm going to go ahead and turn in your franc so that you know that this is your next action, or your action marker.
I want both of them.
Sure, just go ahead and take them both. It's fine. Don't.
Yay!
In fact, don't even pay for them. Go ahead and just take them.
Right.
Woohoo!
Awesome.
Our anniversary's in a couple of days. Happy anniversary, hun. All right. So
That's the one I could afford without.
You made your selection. Yeah. There you go. All right. So I need to increase my brick because otherwise I'm not going to ever be able to use my kiln. So I'm probably going to use your clay mound.
That moves it up 3.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, and that's it. So turn that in. All right, your turn.
Okay. I'm not going to be able to afford that.
Yeah, it gets hard trying to decide what you can afford and what you can't. The game gets really tough decisions. Because like I said, notice how many buildings we're starting to build up on our player board here and trying to decide, okay, well, I got to use this one to be able to use that one to its maximum capacity or its ability. But then you got to pay attention to your other players' board too, because you know they've got things that they can do that you know hopefully you could take advantage of yourself. So it can be a little difficult.
I'll use my wood company.
Okay. So let's turn in your little action marker. And then I'm going to go ahead and just use my kiln, which does give me a franc. And I also do increase all the way up. So, alright, that's it for me. And then you got one more action this round, and then we're going to go to the next. And like I said, this game will really go fast. It's just a matter of making them decisions quick enough. The game is kind of like a statistics or a graph, you know, that you're trying to make out here. I mean, it's all mathy. So if you're into this type of stuff, I think you'll enjoy this game, which I do. You know, trying to keep track of, you know, what you're using, your resources and such. So. We'll introduce the J buildings now. So let's go ahead and get them up there. And we are now at 9 total actions. So I'll take 5 of them, and you will take the other one. And now it gets a little interesting. So we got some really cool buildings starting to be introduced. So I think the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is use my smokehouse. So that will give me a franc. Plus I get to move my fish up 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I got lots of fish. So now it will be your turn, hun.
Okay. I'm going to use my restaurant. Because I can use it 4 times, which would give me 8 francs.
Very cool. Very cool. There. You got 4. And then 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then go ahead and turn in your action markers so we don't lose track. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use my farmland now, which does give me a franc. So I'm going to turn all these in and just grab a 5. And that will allow me to move this up 4, but I can only go 3, and then both of these will just move up 1 space. So it is your turn again.
Okay.
Do you have a question on one of them?
I think I've got it. You can only use it for one, the guild hall, because it's rainbow colored. You can only move 1. Like I would have to move 2 different resources, not the same one twice.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So Carmen had a question on the guild hall. That's what she has here. The guild hall says move 2 to 4 different good counters 1 space diagonally up to the right according to the position on the guild hall. So The guild hall is in a position of number 2, so she can move up 2 of her goods. You may not move the same good counters more than one space. This rule book is fantastic because it breaks down every single one of these buildings for you and gives you clarification on how they're supposed to be used. So, yes.
It's 2 total.
2 total, but you can't move the same goods. So,
right, got it.
very good. So did you turn in your action thing? There we go. There we go. We will quickly lose track otherwise. So, I want to get this fish factory because I've got so many fish. It only makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and spend the 2 brick. But it's actually going to cost me 3 because to move backwards would be 1. To move down would be 3. So unfortunately I'm going to have to spend 1 extra brick for it. But it's going to be beneficial because I have so many fish that hopefully I can get victory points for them. So it goes back to you.
Okay.
The most you can ever get of any one of these resources would be 23, because that would be this little spot right here, or even here, or here. But the point is that that is the most you could possibly get, because even the 18 and 5, that'd be 23, the 15 and 7, that'd be 22, so it goes even down. So yeah, these 2 spots here is where you want to try to get your little tokens. That'd be the most that you could possibly get of any resource.
Okay.
So, what'd you end up doing? I'm sorry.
I used my building firm.
Oh, okay. Well, I do like that craftsman yard. That thing's pretty groovy. Kind of curious. I wouldn't mind taking a peekaboo at the upcoming ones here. So I think what I would like to do. Okay, so this business office means I move down diagonally, and I get 5 money for each time I do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why wouldn't I do that? So let me go ahead and give you your 1 franc, and I'll take my 4. Okay. And then you put that in your 0, and I'm going to move this one, and this one, and I get 15 money for that. So.
Somebody's trying to buy that. What is this called?
I don't remember.
Pont de Normandie.
Very good. Wow, your French is beautiful.
I know.
That is amazing. So you got 1 more action left this round, so do I, and this game is getting really close to being over here. This is going to be pretty exciting to just see how this works. I think by taking that from her using that little business office of hers, that kind of stumped for her.
You're so nice.
Yeah, because that basically just took, gave her 1 money, but gave me, 15. Well, technically it only gave me 14 because I spent 1 on her, but still definitely way more favorable in my part. So
I'll use my church square before you grab it.
I was planning on taking that next, yes. Okay, so that was your last action. What else you got down there? Man, you've already used up so many that I would like to use.
Haha.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is use my pier. Okay, so what that'll allow me to do is move any one of these forward 2 spaces, because it was in the 2. So I'm going to go ahead and move my brick up 2, and now I can move any 2 goods I want up 1 space. So I'm going to move my wood up 1 and my grain up 1. So, and that would be my last action. So we'll go ahead and rotate. And we'll introduce the next set of buildings, which would be the K buildings. L is the last one. I'll go ahead and flip them over so we can see those. And Carmen, you start off. You get 5 actions. Whew. Oh man, this is going to be good. Alright. I mean, both of us are in great position on our player boards too, to be able to do a lot here. That's the thing. I mean, both of us have the advantage to take anything here that we want. So that's fantastic. That neither one of us are in a position,
I'm going to take this.
You took my zoo.
Yes, I did.
You took my zoo. That was my zoo.
So that's
15.
4, 8, 12.
13, 14, 15. Yay! And then because it's got the lock on it, you actually just set that to the side, because it's not a building you're ever going to use, okay? So let me show you a little bit closer real quick. See that lock right there? That means that this is just victory points. That's all she bought it for. So it's worth 20 victory points. So she sets it over there to the side. It does not go on your player board because you will not use that. Same with the town hall here. Same exact thing. So, all right. So I think what I would like to do is buy that grain silo. So I'm going to go down one and bang. So I'll go ahead and take that. And I believe that the acres, they don't go on your player board either, do they? I'll put it there for the moment.
No, they don't.
Oh, they don't?
Because you don't use them.
Because you don't use them, that's right. So I'll go ahead and put my acres to the side here. And now, oh, you forgot to turn yours in, and I'll turn mine in. Now, we're going to end up forgetting to do something here. So it is your turn again. Okay, so what did you end up using there? I couldn't see it. Oh,
Sawmill.
wow. Very, very nice. So, what did we forget to do to turn in our little action? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use my marketplace, I think. Nah, I'm going to use my bakehouse instead. So that's going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that does give me a franc for doing that. And I'll turn that in before you yell at me. So it is your turn again.
Thinking.
Thinking. Thinking.
Well, I'll just go ahead and buy that.
What you gonna buy?
That's 8 of those.
Uh-oh, she's buying the town hall, it looks like. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew. Nice job, Carmen. Very nice job. You bought a lot of victory points this round. Very, very nice. You're going to be tough to beat, I think. Okay, so I'll go ahead and use my marketplace. I forgot to put my bakehouse goes there. Did I use my pier this turn? I can't remember. No, I used it last turn, didn't I? Okay, because I accidentally put my bakehouse in the 2 column after I used it.
See.
So, all right, so
you gotta watch him like a hawk.
Like a hawk, because this would, yeah, okay, because I'd only get 3. Maybe I did. Boy, I don't remember. Anyways, so the marketplace needs.
I don't pay attention to what you do.
Well, obviously I don't either. So I'm gonna go.
I doubt you
2,
used it
4.
with as low as your brick and wood are.
I don't know. I totally messed up. So go ahead. It is your turn. I did turn in my action token.
Okie dokie.
I can't remember what my first action was. I thought it was the pier. I'm gonna move it anyways. So I think I did. No, I didn't. What was my first action? I can't remember. Oh, I bought the grain silo. That's right.
There you go.
I didn't cheat. Grain silos. Yeah, that comes out this turn. Yes, that's what I did. I bought the grain silo.
How much you got over there that I could use?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Unfortunately for you. This is where it gets really, really, really nitty-gritty. Because we are getting so close to being done with this game that, you know, it's going to be really interesting to just see how this all turns out. I'm going to turn in your little action thingy so you don't forget.
Okay.
So I actually got the grain silo and the fish factory. So both of those are going to give me the amount of victory points based upon where each one of those are on my little player board here. So at the moment, that would give me 16 points for my fish, and it would give me 20 points for my grain. So, wow, very good. Well, we'll see if I can keep it that way, though. That's the trick. So, Carmen is increasing.
No, I'm not going to.
She's now decreasing.
I changed my mind.
Carmen just cannot make up her mind.
I don't have any silos or nothing.
She has
Factories.
no silos or nothing. It's horrible. She's going to make a decision here soon. I can feel it. It's coming. Any minute. If you got some popcorn to pop or something, go pop it now.
I used my wood company.
Yay!
Ta-da!
Yay! And I already turned in your thingy, so don't worry about doing
right.
that. So I'll go ahead and turn mine in. Now, my decision was to either use my grocery store or go ahead and use my Mason's Guild. I think the Mason's Guild's more important because confident she would love to use that Mason's Guild. So that will actually increase each one of my goods up to the upper corner by 1 space. So, and that's the last action for me for this round. Carmen, you got one more, and we go into the very last round.
Da da da.
Dum, dum, dum.
See, my problem is everything I'm looking at. I'm like, that's not that beneficial because
Well,
next turn I get to use it 3 times.
Yeah, but the problem is you always got to be careful that I don't use it. So that's the trick. So, all right.
Food is a good idea.
Food is good.
I could go for food right there.
You can go for that there food. Yes, you could. You should do it.
That would be 4 total food. I did that.
And you could bounce it off your restaurant.
This would be more than that, wouldn't it? That would take me up. Alright, I guess
Alright, Carmen's made a decision. We think. Yay! So, now, this is it. We introduce our last set of buildings, which are the L. Move our little dial, and I do go first. Thank goodness, because I'm going to buy this thing here.
Oh, man.
Oh, you knew that was coming. What that'll do is it gives me 10 points per acre. I have 2 already. Anchor, right? Anchor, not acre.
Anchor.
Anchors, those things. The things on boats that fall down into the water to hold them in place, those things. And I've already got 2, so basically that it cost me 7. I've got 2 of them, so it only gave me 13 points, but there's 2 more out here. So if I get one of those, then it'll be worth even just that much more. So, Carmen, your turn.
I'm counting my money.
Carmen's trying to see if she can get the Porte de Normandie. Le Porte de Normandie.
Okay.
My French is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I know. It's like, wow, his French is beautiful. How does he do it? I don't know. It just comes out, rolls off the tongue.
So, I will buy the wood factory.
Wood factory. You took my anchor. My anchor.
Yes, the one I can afford.
I wanted that. Well, I'll go ahead and take the brick.
Yeah.
Because that's just another big bunch of points for me. So, all right, your turn again.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's do that. Or else here, won't we? Yes, we will.
I am actually seeing right now. Okay, so if I use the guild hall, that's going to give me 12 of stuff.
Where's your guild hall? Oh, I see.
It's
so you're going to move up this direction, everything. Yeah. Yeah. You should just wait on that guild hall for one more turn. One more turn. That's all I'm saying.
So, let's see. What do I want?
Well, you can only move each of them 1 space, can't you? Or can you move them? Yeah, I think it's only 1 space each. You may not move the same good counter more than 1 space. That's correct. So.
Got it.
You got it? All right, I already turned in your action token because I know you would have forgotten otherwise. Forgotten. I think it's more along the lines of, yeah, deliberately forgotten. I'm going to go ahead and use my, what is this called? A weekly market. So I do get a franc because it was in this 4 with a franc. So I will place it there. Now what I get to do is I get to drop these down. For every spot I drop them down, I get 4 francs. So do-do, 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 do-do. So I get a total of 16 francs for that. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh, no!
What?
Nothing.
That was just...
Nothing. I didn't notice anything.
Okay. Carmen...
He's not... I'm sure he knows. Okay.
What? Maybe I don't know. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm gonna... You know what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to take that from you. Okay, alright, we're on the same page. All right.
Yeah, that's why I was mad.
I don't know if I've got enough, though. Let me see. all I have is exactly
30.
30.
Yeah.
How much does it take to buy it? 30.
30.
Aw, shucky durns. You know, that's actually called dumb luck, that actually played out that, you know, that exact.
Okay.
Well, this will be your next action here. So, you got 2 left, and so do I.
Alright.
Counting the one you're doing.
If I buy this for only 1 wood, that's 8 points. That's a pretty good deal.
But that's an action you're using. You got 2 actions left.
But it's an action, exactly.
You want to get as much as you can. I would recommend you buy this one instead. I mean, that's worth double the points.
Okay.
And then try to get that one as well. I mean, that's 18 and 16, so that's what a lot of points.
That's a lot of
That's
34
points. It's 34. I know how to count. I'm okay. 18 plus 16. That's math. That's points. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay. But yeah, you should concentrate on trying to grab them too if you can, because you know I'm going to grab that, obviously. But I can still grab one other thing. So.
What is that? Is that only 2?
What?
This is 10, and if I move up to here,
yeah,
it's 12. So it's only 2.
Yeah, it's an increase of 2. Yeah.
So that would be only 4 points if I move that up. So it's not bad.
No, you're going to want to try to bet. You want to buy these 2 buildings, hon. Remember, Carmen always has a terrible time of trying. When he gets, you just want to buy buildings. Buildings will give you your most victory points typically. She always sometimes forgets that.
Well, this will give me. That's
okay.
only 6. Okay.
To give you an example, one thing that she's trying to do. Let's say my grocery store right here. Okay. Well, my grocery store would give me 4 francs, plus it's in this, so that'd give me 5 francs, okay? 5 francs total if I use it, okay? And then I would be able to move up my fish and my grain 1 space. So that'd be a total of 2 more points, because I'd basically get to be able to bounce them off of my silos down here, or my fish factory too. So I'm looking at a total of 4, 5, 6, 7 points total. Now, it's in this category here where if I don't use it, it's going to go into this exclamation point category the next round, which means I have to sell it. It would sell for half the value. So I will get 3 points out of this building no matter what, all right? So do I use it and waste an action on that? Or do I just go ahead and let it sell off because I can get more points from just pulling buildings from here?
Right.
That's the decisions you have to try to make. Sacrifice versus gain. And if you look at it the way I just broke it down, it's not beneficial for me at all to use this grocery store. It's best just to let it sell off. And I use my last 2 actions to try to gain buildings. So, Carmen, which one's you going to take here?
So that gives me 18, but using my business office only gives me 15.
There you go. See, she broke it down just now. She's trying to
This
decide.
would give me 18.
That's right.
But if I used my business office,
Okay.
it would give
But
me
then you're also
only
going to
15.
You're also going to go down on your wood, okay? And you do have the wood factory.
Yes.
So that would give you 3 less points on your wood as well. So you're actually at a break even, is what you're at.
No.
Or did you already factor that in?
Yeah, that's
okay.
right.
So that would be a break even at the moment. So either way, but at the same time, you don't want to leave something like that on the board for me to try to take. Because I think you know what I'm going to do on my turn. I think you do. Well, maybe.
That's one of the things you're going to
Well,
do.
I know you can't get that, so I can do that on my very last action. You don't have enough money, so.
All right. I just can't use my business office if I do this.
Okay. Okay. See, that was the smarter choice. Now, the reason I'm saying that was the smarter choice is because you used the food to buy that. I got tons of food.
Yeah.
I can't get this one. I don't have enough resources to
Yeah.
get it. So I'm 1 short on the brick to be able to grab that one. So buying that one was the most advantageous thing for you. You know you can't get that. So basically what you did is you just stripped 6 points away from me because I can't afford the hardware store. So in fact, that's exactly what I do plan on doing, is just go ahead and grab in the hardware store. And that will cost me 1 wood and 2 brick. So, and then this will be your last action here. Now for my last action, it's not that hard to figure out. I'm just going to grab this one. So it's just basically a 20-point building for me, because I'm going to spend 30 to get 50 points. So it's a 20-point exchange difference.
Okay, so I'll use my business office.
Okay. All right, so that gives her, I believe, 12 points or 15.
15.
Very good. So that would be her last action. There's mine. I'm going to go ahead and get this building. And I have to spend all my money for that, but it was worth 20 points. So now that the game is over, all we're going to do is add up our money that we have on the player board, and we're going to add up the little victory points that are right here in the corner. So we don't want to bore you to death by watching us do this, because usually it's about 200 plus points per player. So we're going to go ahead, we'll come back, and we'll show you what the final score is and who won. All right, we just finished tallying up our final scores. So Carmen doesn't know what my score is, but I know what hers is. So Carmen, what was your final score?
231.
231 points to my 224. You won by 7 points. Good job.
I think that's the first time I've won.
I think it is too. Wow, very good. I mean, 7-point victory. That is awesome. So great job, hon. That was a fantastic game.
I love mathy games. And so, I love them, but then Tim usually wins. So
I usually beat her pretty good by, I mean, I think our last game was probably about a 20-point victory almost. So I'm kind of shocked that she beat me, and it happened to be on the live play to make me look all silly and ridiculous. But no, great job, hon. Hope that helped you understand how to play Le Havre. We're not sure how to pronounce it. It can be a lot of fun, so hope it helps you understand how the game plays out in real time. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.